Have you guys ever thought about buying a rental property? If the answer to that question is yes, then this video is for you. Today, we'll be discussing the top 5 things that I get asked as a real estate investor and agent in the Northern Virginia area for the last 15 years. The very first thing you want to consider before buying your first rental property is its location. I'm sure you guys have heard the phrase location, location, location. Well, location is going to be key because you're going to be keeping your property for a very long term. That's the plan, right? So you want to find out what kind of location you're picking. Does your location have great incoming traffic? Does businesses like to go there? Are there great schools? Are there great shopping centers? Are businesses and bigger retailer stores are looking to open up in that area? Such as, if you're thinking about if Walmart is going to go there, you talk to the local city, county offices. If they're planning to put a new Costco there, a new Home Depot there, whenever these big brand stores go, they bring chains of shopping centers with them because these stores drive traffic. And when traffic comes in there, more businesses come there, which means more people are going to be renting there, which increases the marketability of your rent and your house. The second most important question that I get is mortgage. Well, when you're considering for a rental property, a fixed mortgage is the only way to go. Well, now the question is whether it's going to be a 15-year fixed or it's going to be a 30-year fixed. Well, both have pros and cons. Now let's discuss the 15-year fixed first. 15-year fixed, I think ideally is for a person who is in their 40s or maybe in the 50s, has got more 15 years to go, wants to pay off the property quicker and retire soon. That's the person. At the same time, 15-year mortgage is going to bring a much higher payment, which means your financial obligation monthly is a lot higher. At the same time, 15-year mortgage is going to save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest. Now let's compare that to a 30-year fixed mortgage. Somebody who's in the 30s has a lot of time, or maybe in the 40s has a lot of time and has other investments going, a 30-year mortgage is the way to go. It's going to increase your cash flow, it's going to keep your payment low, and that's what you want as a rental property. The third thing you want to consider when buying a rental property is type of property. Well, you can get a condominium, you can get a single family home such as townhome or single family. Well, let's discuss the pros and cons on both the options. Well, somebody who is starting out brand new as an investor and does not want to take any burden about maintenance, a condominium is probably the way to go because the condominium people are going to be taking care of the outside, taking care of the roof, may even in some cases take care of windows and sidings and pay for some of the utilities. That's a way less obligation for a person who's starting out this thing from a brand new person. At the same time, look at from the tenant's perspective. Tenants nowadays do not like to maintain properties. They do not have the time invested to cut the grasses and other stuff. So condominium, yes, will bring a higher condo fee, but at the same time will bring a very less obligations. On the other side, let's consider a single family home such as townhome or a single family home. Let's consider that. So single family homes is going to bring that person much more open space. They're going to give them the backyard, it's going to give them the deck, it's going to give them a lot more open freestyle living. And for you as an investor, a single family home appreciates much more in value than a condominium does. So you have to weigh your options and see which one is the right investment for you. Well, the fourth thing to consider is whether you're going to be buying a turnkey property or you're going to be buying a renovation project. Well, let's discuss them. A turnkey property will be a great property for a new investor. Just walking in there, every single thing is done to the house. You just buy the property and start renting it to the public, and no renovations are involved. You are very less connected with the local contractors. You have very less knowledge about what renovations to be done to a property to make it more rentable. So a turnkey property is great for you, but at the same time, you're going to pay a little bit higher premium for the property because everything is done. Second project is renovation project. Well, you are a seasoned investor. You already know what type of paint. You already have knowledge about the carpets, the flooring types, the kitchen, the bathrooms. You already have knowledge about all those things, and at the same time, you got great connections with local contractors. You can hire them. So that if you take the project, yes, it's going to require a lot more time and effort from your side and money, but at the same time, it's going to build you some instant equity. Well, consider both the options and see what one fits the best for you. The fifth and the last thing to consider before buying your first rental property is inspections. Well, you definitely want to look for a property where you can get an inspection done. Well, nowadays with the market that we have in 2020, 2021, inspections is not a thing that the sellers allow on their properties, or better to say, in the competitive market, you end up waiving your inspection. So what's the solution to that? Well, I always recommend having an inspection of the properties. The way you can get out of that way is you can get an inspection for information purposes only. Any seller will allow you to do an inspection on the property if you're doing for information purposes only. It does not cost them any money. It does not cause them any damage down the road. Let's say if you'll say, oh, repair this or that. No, you're not asking for any repairs. All you're doing is an inspection on the property for your sake, so you know what the current condition of the property is before you buy it. So I highly recommend that you do an inspection before you buy your investment.